everybody, it's Mayor John Huffman, and welcome to this week's Minute with the Mayor. And this week we're talking about the budget. Now, one of the most important things we do on City Council is pass an annual budget, and we want that budget to reflect our priorities of fiscal responsibility and tax relief. And that's what we've done once again. So the budget process ends with votes on council, but it starts many months before then. And we're going to be talking about that with one of my favorite city employees, our CFO, Ms. Sharon Jackson. Sharon, thank you for joining me.
Glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about this year's budget process and some of the highlights that you saw in this year's budget.
Well, we have some exciting news to share. Once again, this year we were able to reduce the tax rate by 3 cents. So we are going from 39 cents down to 36 cents for our tax rate. And we were able to also maintain the homestead exemption of 20%, which is the maximum that's allowed in state statute. And the tax rate is actually below the no new revenue rate, which means the average homeowner should not see an increase in city taxes.
I mean, that's truly amazing. And I want to say this is the 4th year in a row that we've reduced the tax rate below the no new revenue rate. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So for those of you guys who don't understand what a monumental accomplishment that is, you guys know your property tax valuations are going through the roof. And it's on us as a city, as a taxing entity, to keep reducing that rate below that effective rate so that you guys see that real tax relief. And Sharon and her team lead the budgeting process in there because we set the policy and then you make it happen. And we're so happy that you did. But you did it without reducing city services, which is also amazing.
Absolutely. We were also able to enhance some services, including the SRO program. We were able to keep our schools safe by adding 4 additional SROs in this year's budget while reducing the tax rate.
So how do you, tell us about the process. How do you get into this budgeting? Do you start from zero? Do you start from last year's? What does that actual process look like?
As with Southlake's very known for, we plan appropriately. We know what's coming. We're very strategic in our planning. We look and budget not just for today, but in multi-year, we look at 5-year look so that we can plan what's coming and ensure that we have a sustainable budget to meet all the needs of the community as well as enhancing the services that we provide.
So part of that sustainable budgeting is making sure that we are really good risk when we go out to the bond markets to borrow money, correct?
Absolutely. That's why the city has AAA rating, which is the highest rating that's possible, and it's because of our strategic planning, sustainability, and just the community and overall that we live in.
And I believe that we're one of 2 cities in Texas with a AAA rating from all the bond agencies, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
It's amazing. So we're a great credit risk. We keep reducing the tax rate, and we're paying cash for almost all of our capital improvement program.
Yes, in the budget this year, we're paying 70% of our $44.3 million will be paid with cash, and the remaining amount will be very short-term bonds.
And so once again, this budgeting doesn't happen by accident. It's very intentional. It starts with Sharon and Shauna Yelverton, our city manager. And if I can just brag on Sharon for just a little bit, she's been with the city since 1999 and has done a phenomenal job leading this team. Everything she's asked, she does, and she does with excellence. And it's her work that wins awards, by the way. She was Dallas Business Journal's CFO of the Year in 2018, and we're so proud of everything she does. And she's easy to brag on because she's so humble. But really, if you see her around, you need to tell her thank you because it's her work that allows us as a council to deliver on our promises, to treat your tax dollars like they're our own, and to continue to pass budgets that reflect our priorities of fiscal responsibility and tax relief. So Sharon, thank you once again for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. We'll see you next week on Minute with the Mayor.